What's going on, everyone? Model Deer Farmer back with you here today to give you the second round results in Model Tractor Madness. The round of 64, we're heading to the round of 32 coming up next here pretty soon. If you're watching this the day it comes out, then we're starting the round of 32, the third round. So we're going to take a look at the results here on what ended up going down in the second round. In the first game, we had the Ford 846 Versatile take the win over the John Deere Model 60, 67 to 33%. A lot of these games in this round were either really close or really lopsided. So in the second round, we end up having the Case IH 715 Quad Track take the win over the Waterloo Boys 62 to 38%. In the third game, we ended up having the John Deere 5020 two-time champ get the win over the Versatile 580 70 to 30%. Over in the fourth game, the John Deere 4450 Prestige version takes the win over the John Deere 8330 by Carter Bankin 75 to 25%. In the fifth game, we have the John Deere 9620R taking on the John Deere 6400, and it gets the win 73 to 27%. The sixth game, we got the John Deere 8960 and the John Deere 8370R taking the win, the 8960 taking the win 84 to 16%. In the seventh game, the John Deere 4430 with the duals gets the win over the John Deere 8560, 74 to 26%. Over in the eighth game, the John Deere 8870 gets the win over the John Deere 7530, 75 to 25%. A pretty close one here in the ninth game. The John Deere 8130 takes the win over the John Deere 8345 RT, 58 to 42%. The 10th game, the John Deere 8530 takes the win over the John Deere 9R540, 72 to 28%. In the 11th game, we got another closest one here. The John Deere 70 takes the win over the John Deere Crawler Tractors, 58 to 42%. And then moving into the 12th game, the John Deere 4850 takes the win over the John Deere 4440, 63 to 37%. In the 13th game, the John Deere 8335R takes the win over the John Deere 730 Diesel, 62 to 38%. In the 14th game, the John Deere 4430 takes the very large win over the John Deere Sound Idea 70 set tractor, 94 to 6%. Very clear winner in that one here. Moving on to one that was very close the whole time. Game 15, the Oliver 1755 takes the win over the John Deere 9620T, 52 to 48%. Over in the 16th game, the John Deere 8530 by Carter Bankin takes the win over the Allis-Chalmers D21 in a 66 to 34% matchup. Over in the 17th game, the John Deere 8650 takes the win over the International 826, 70 to 30%. In the game 18, the John Deere 7310R takes the win over the John Deere 820, 63 to 37%. In the 19th game, the John Deere 4020 with duals takes the win over the John Deere Model D styled version, 80 to 20%. In Game 20, the International 1066 takes the win over the John Deere 9510R, 59 to 41%. In the 21st game, the John Deere 4450 takes the win over the John Deere 9570R, 66 to 34%. Game 22, the John Deere 4020 with the cab takes the win over the Steiger Cougar KM280, 67 to 33%. One that was also very close the whole time in the 23rd game, the Ford 8970 just barely gets the lead over the John Deere 9430, 52 to 48%. Another close one here in the 24th game, the Co-op Implements Panther 2 takes the win over the John Deere 9560 RT, 55 to 45%. In the 25th game, the Challenger MT685E takes the win over the Case IH 380 AFS, 71 to 29%. In the 26th game, the John Deere 8400 takes the win over the John Deere 7130, 88 to 12%, in a very large win by the 8400. Another close one here in the 27th game, the International 1456 takes the win over the John Deere 8850, 53 to 47%. In the 28th game, the John Deere 4760 takes the win over the John Deere 7630, 83 to 17%. In the 29th game, the John Deere 8R410 by Carter Bankin takes the win over the John Deere 4010, 78 to 22%. In the 30th game, the John Deere 4960 takes the win over the John Deere 7230R, 82 to 18%. In the 31st game, we have the John Deere 9620 taking on the Waterloo Boy 70s set version, and the 9620 gets the win, 79 to 21%. And then in the final game, the John Deere 4230 gets the close win over the John Deere 8530 Farm Show version, 58 to 42%. That is it for the 32 games of the second round. Those winning 32 tractors move on to the third round, the round of 32, to play, and then the winners after that will move on to the Sweet 16. So make sure you vote in the third round of Model Tractor Madness. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. See y'all in the next one.